Welcome to this film about the Cary Archive. I'm Stuart Tyler, and I'm an archivist here at the Devon Heritage Centre in Exeter. The Heritage Centre is the County Record Office and West Country Studies Library, where people can come and see archives and pursue research into family history, house history, local history, and more. We're part of the South West Heritage Trust, which runs archives and heritage sites in both Devon and Somerset. Devon Heritage Centre has a number of special strong rooms, which are environmentally controlled and have special fire suppression systems as well. Our strong rooms accommodate many different shapes and sizes and formats of documents, including, for example, school photographs. The strong rooms also include very large maps, including, for example, some of these, like tide maps and enclosure maps. In the past, the tide maps have been digitised and are now available online, which is a huge operation involving special camera equipment for overhead photography. In our conservation studio, staff and volunteers work on a range of tasks and activities, including cleaning, packaging and repair work. This includes work done on the conservation of the Cary collection. We hold over 720,000 items that have been catalogued in our database, but there will be many more uncatalogued. So in total, we must hold many millions of documents here at the Devon Heritage Centre. Here, in one of our strong rooms, we have records of many different Devon institutions, including churches, schools, hospitals, and more. And we also have the records of the Cary estate collection, more than 400 boxes covering more than 700 years of history, in particular the history of Torquay. The Carys were a prominent Catholic Devon landowning family, particularly associated with Torre Abbey and the town of Torquay. In 1662, Sir George Cary purchased this, the former monastery of Torre Abbey. It would be the Carys' home for the next 300 years.
Hello, I'm Claire. I'm Senior Exhibitions and Visitor Experience Coordinator here at Torre Abbey. The Cary family are a key part of the story here at Torre Abbey. They lived here for around 300 years and made major changes to the building to make it into a Georgian mansion. This includes building the chapel, altering the dining room, and building a ballroom. Torre Abbey holds a large collection of Cary items that are mostly on loan from the Cary family. This includes items to do with their military service, including uniforms and swords, a large 177-piece dinner service with their family crest on, and various other items linked to their history, including portraits. There are lots of interesting stories about the Cary family, but one that particularly captures the imagination is the story of Anne Cary and Samuel Isaacs and their secret marriage.
Anne became the female head of the household when her mother passed away in 1709. Part of Anne's responsibilities was to organise social gatherings for visiting guests. One regular guest was Exeter-based solicitor Samuel Isaac. A secret romance blossomed between Anne and Samuel. And it was a secret because Samuel was Church of England and Edward and Anne were Catholics. Secondly, Samuel did not have much money. He was a solicitor by training, but apparently not a practicing one, and he was financially dependent on his father. One day, in 1717, while Edward Cary was paying an overnight visit to a friend and a fellow Catholic landowner, Lord Clifford of Ugbrook, a servant arrived at the Abbey in the early hours of the morning to find Anne's room was empty, and there was a letter to her father. Anne wrote, "Dear Sir, the cause of my disobedience is love. Therefore I hope you will pardon me, for I was some time since married to Mr. Isaac, and cannot, in conscience, tarry any longer from him. I am the dutiful daughter, Anne Isaac." So interesting, the Chancery Court case that follows this was actually initiated by Samuel and Anne against Edward Cary, due to Edward withholding a dowry, which is the money and/or estate, because Edward and the Catholic Church did not recognise the marriage as being legitimate.
We hold a range of documents relating to Torre Abbey itself, including the purchase deed from 1662, letters about building works from the 1700s, and catalogues of Torre Abbey's contents from the 1800s. The Cary family didn't just own Torre Abbey. Here are some more examples of properties the family owned in Torquay, and some examples of documents the Cary Archive holds. At the top of Union Street, you can find the original Torquay Hospital that's now been turned into flats. This building was opened in 1853 and quickly expanded with a new wing in the 1860s, and you can see in these plans how these new wings are being developed as new feeder wards. We also hold plans for this building, the Town Hall, and you can see here both the exterior and the interior, including an office for the town surveyor, and a boardroom, and a strong room for their various documents. Wedged between Abbey Road and Union Street, the Carys granted this site to the borough of Torquay in 1851 for a very favourable rent of just 4 shillings a year. It would go on to be used as the Town Hall for the next 60 years, as well as housing the local police station and lockup, a synagogue, and most recently a bar. Now we go to the Royal Lyceum Theatre in Abbey Road. Local moviegoers may remember this as being a cinema for many decades. But in the 1860s, this was leased to Thomas Matthews, a coal merchant, to be used as a theatre. This plan of the theatre shows the various corridors around the building, including corridors split between the first-class patrons and the second-class patrons. Excitingly, today this building's become a theatre again. We're about to go on tour with Martin Harris, Artistic Director of the Lyceum.
Hi, my name is Martin Harris. I'm the Artistic Director here at the Royal Lyceum Theatre. Unleashed Theatre Company. We run a community theatre company here at the Royal Lyceum. Royal Lyceum started as a theatre that was actually built on part of the Cary estate and belonged actually to part of the Cary estate. It became the Royal Lyceum in the 1870s and then subsequently became cinema in 1930. We took it over 18 months ago and we've reverted it back to the Royal Lyceum, which was its original theatrical name. And so, yeah, it's great to be part of this project.
Back at the Devon Heritage Centre, let's have a look at some other intriguing items from the archive. Some of the other documents, including the Cary collection, are this estate map of North Loo, very early and unusual estate map from the mid-1500s. 14 volumes of architectural plans of buildings mostly in Torquay, including these ones of Fleet Street. And we have these auction catalogues, where various parts of the house and gardens were being sold off in the 1850s. The cataloguing exercise so far has only skimmed the surface and started to tell some of the stories within the Cary Archive. For example, there is a run of nearly 100 years' worth of letterbooks containing more than 20,000 letters. Hopefully researchers and volunteers will be interested in delving into these kind of records in more detail. As the Carys' economic fortunes took a turn for the worst in the mid-19th century, they started to sell off land for building works, driving the creation of modern Torquay. Their legacy does live on in many of Torquay's buildings, including of course Torre Abbey. The South West Heritage Trust has an ongoing partnership with Torre Abbey, and this includes exhibitions like the one on the Cary Archive taking place during 2024. Because of the size and complexity of collections like this, project archivist posts need to be funded to undertake the work. In this instance, our project is funded thanks to a grant by the National Archives as part of their Archives Revealed programme. The Devon Heritage Centre also runs talks and events, and 4 times a year, people can also request and view documents locally at Torre Abbey. Thank you very much for watching this film about the Cary Archives. If you'd like to find out more, visit our website, swheritage.org.uk, or follow us on social media.